Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today it's August 12th, 2020 here in Japan where I am. I'm still on summer vacation, as it were, but I must make this video. I was compelled to because Criterion, the Criterion Collection, has made an announcement which you can find on its website with regard to a set that it plans to release on November 24th, 2020. A Blu-ray set consisting of 15 discs at a suggested retail price of $249.95 or $249.95, although it seems to be marked down now on the Criterion website at $199.96. This is Essential Fellini. Essential Fellini. 15 Blu-ray discs housed in these sleeves that seem to be part of this book of some sort, a huge landmark type of release which appears to be similar to the presentation by Criterion of, say, the Ingmar Bergman films or the Godzilla films or the upcoming Agnes Varda set, which I'm looking forward to very much. And so this is incredible. This is really incredible. Wonderful news. And let me just share with you my initial reactions because I've just heard the news right now. So first of all, we should say that at New Year's, earlier this year, at the start of this year, we had, of course, the clues that Criterion provided, which hinted at the possibility of 4 box sets, right? So we had the Bruce Lee set as a possibility, which came into fruition. Then we had Agnes Varda, which of course is now the new release of the moment. And now we have a Fellini set. Now that leaves, of course, the 4th hinted at possible box set, which is, of course, a Wong Kar-wai set. So let us stay tuned to further Criterion announcements about that, if it indeed comes at all. But anyway, so far we have 3 sets, included in which, of course, is Essential Fellini. I urge you, my friends, to take a look at the website directly for information about this, because it looks fascinating. Now, it looks like we have 14, it says 15 Blu-ray discs, and it says, I've counted it, looks like we have, of the 15 discs, the films in this set are listed as being Variety Lights, The White Sheik, I Vitelloni, La Strada, Il Bidone, Nights of Cabiria, La Dolce Vita, 8½, Juliet of the Spirits, Fellini Satyricon, Roma, Amarcord, and The Ship Sails On, and Intervista. So I count 14 films that are listed in the films in this set section. Of those, I think we've seen those films released in the past individually by Criterion, of course, some of which were also released on Blu-ray, many of which were not. They were still, they were released on DVD, and then some actually then fell out of print. And so I think this is welcome news for those of us who are Criterion fans who were waiting, say, for the return of some OOP titles that had fallen out of print. And so this is welcome news indeed. I should point out that the set indicates a set release, and so I don't know if these are going to be subsequently released individually on new Blu-rays. I'm not sure, but in any event, we are still getting these films in a Criterion set form, so that's still very welcome news. And I should point out also the inclusion of films like Intervista 1987 and Il Bidone from 1955. So those had not been given their own individual releases by Criterion in the past, so this is a very exciting thing indeed. I should point out also that this is The set is described as being 15 Blu-ray special edition collector's set features, new 4K restorations of 11 theatrical features with uncompressed monaural soundtracks for all of films. So this is interesting. We're going to have to check this, right? Because I counted 14 features, and it says here new 4K restorations of 11 theatrical films. So 11 doesn't match up necessarily with doesn't match up with 14, so there's a difference there of 3. So I'm not sure what that means as far as it sounds to me like not all of the films that are included in the feature film section are going to be based off of 4K restorations. That's what it seems like to me. But again, we're going to have to be absolutely clear about the specs when the actual set arrives. But this is a really, really exciting news. I encourage you to take a look at the website and take a look at the special features here, because it looks really packed. It also says audio commentaries on 6 of the films. So again, that's not all of the films, but that's 6 of the films. Again, we're going to have to check this specifically when the set arrives, and then we can do a side-by-side comparative analysis with the past releases if you want. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Also, my reaction is that, as I say, we are getting Il Bidone and Intervista, which, to my knowledge, were never given individual releases in the Criterion Collection before. Also, it looks like this set is not going to be spine numbered, at least there's no indication of that I can find. But that could mean, I don't know what that means. For example, the Ingmar Bergman set, if you recall, not all, but some of those films were then subsequently released individually. I think of the film Shame, for example. The set came out, and then I would say maybe a couple months later or so, the film Shame was released individually. Also, The Magic Flute had been given a new Blu-ray release, etc. So there's always the possibility that films could be released individually after the set is released, but we're just going to have to wait and see about that. But for those who are keen on individual releases, just as I say, we're just going to have to wait and see. But hopefully they will arrive as well in a timely fashion at or around the same time as the set release, maybe later perhaps. And I should say also that it looks like, right, we're getting a lot of great Fellini films, of course, but we're not getting all of the films, because we are, let's see, it says essential Fellini, right? Essential Fellini. If you think about the meaning of the word essential, that does not mean complete necessarily. It could, but it doesn't necessarily mean complete. And so we look at the lineup of the films in the set, and we also look at the special features. And we note that, for example, unless there is something that is going to be released that has not yet been listed, we don't see the inclusion of films like City of Women, or just off the top of my head, The Clowns, or Ginger and Fred. And also, we don't see the inclusion of, say, some of the films that Fellini did as segments of larger works. We do get, according to the special features, we do get Toby Dammit, right, Spirits of the Dead, but it looks like we're not getting any of the others that he had worked on before. So that's interesting. We don't get also Fellini's Casanova, or right, let's see, so Orchestra Rehearsal, so we're not getting all of the Voice of the Moon, or we're not getting all of his films. Apparently, it looks like maybe they might appear, or maybe they are in the special features. I'm not sure. Sometimes they might be listed off of the main part. No, it looks like, as I said, we're getting Toby Dammit and the Director's Notebook, but it looks like we're getting a lot of great documentaries, it sounds like, but we're not getting any of the other feature films, say, on the supplements disc, like we saw, for example, with the Bruce Lee set. But okay, all right, so we're going to have to double check this again when we get closer to the release date. But it looks like, therefore, that we are getting a lot of great films by Fellini, most of his films, but not all of his films. So just keep that in mind if you are keen on having a complete filmography representation on new Blu-ray releases or on home media releases. Just keep that in mind. But I think what we're getting is absolutely great. I mean, the title says it all, essential. And so this is, I think, very welcome news. And also, if I could just use the Bergman set, the Ingmar Bergman set, as a point of comparison, even with that set, as great as it was and is, we have to recall that even with that set, the Bergman set, we didn't get all of Bergman's films, right? And so if you wanted to have, I mean, that was one of the quote-unquote weaknesses of the Bergman set, but I think that it is still a phenomenal set. And, there is something to be said, of course, about having a complete filmography of a filmmaker. However, there is also something to be said about having not the complete filmography, but most of the filmography, as it were, of a filmmaker. And so, and one can still have a robust and fulfilling and rewarding cinema journey through those films, such as many people have already done, say, with the Bergman set. Again, I understand that the point of comparison is not entirely perfect, but still, I think it's an apt comparison to make, at least from my point of view. And so I think this could be a weakness to some with regards to the Fellini set, but I think for others it will still be a potentially marvelous and fantastic journey to make through the world of Fellini, which is indeed a dazzling and one-of-a-kind experience. So this is going to be a really wonderful thing to have. So I'm looking forward to this incredibly, very much. And we should say also that it looks like we're getting some kind of book form, a large sort of set, it looks like. There's a video as well, for a trailer, so you can take a look at that. I'll leave all the links in the description box below. And so this looks like something to be maybe similar to the Varda set, which I haven't received yet, but something like that. The Godzilla set, very oversized. The Bergman set, of course, also very large. We're going to have to check the dimensions. I don't know if they're all the same size, but still, it's going to be really wonderful to have them all. So have all the films in one place, and then to have a booklet with color illustrations and very stylized illustrations and the like. So this is going to be really wonderful, very exciting indeed. So I'll just take a look at that info if you're interested. Also, I should say, as a kind of conclusion, this is something that, as I say, was hinted at in the New Year's Clue. But, to be perfectly honest, I personally was not sure whether or not Criterion would be doing this. In other words, with all the stuff that's happening this year, 2020, right? We know what's going on, and it's stressful, and a lot of things have been happening, a lot of delays, a lot of cancellations here and there. And so, of course, one had to wonder, could Criterion, or was Criterion ready to be able to release this year, or did it have to do it next year, or something like that? But no, they have come here, and they're going to release it in November, mid to late November of this year, which is stellar. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how these labels do it, but they are doing a great job. I'm speaking not just of Criterion, but of other great labels, and people are working very hard, I know, to try to provide to all of us film fans these great releases. And so it's great. I'm stunned. I'm in awe, and I hope that I mean, the people at Criterion and other Blu-ray labels and media labels, I think, really are doing such a stellar job. And when the set comes, of course, it'll be great to explore it and look at the specifics, of course. But taking a step back for a moment, I think. I'm so thrilled, and especially with all the stressful stuff that's happening, announcement like this really make me very happy. And so I really want to thank the people at Criterion really for their hard work. And it couldn't have been easy, especially during these last few months. And so it's just, I'm so grateful for their work, and I can't wait to explore this set with a lot of sort of excitement and anticipation. So very exciting indeed. So so I will leave all the information in the description box below. So if you're interested, please take a look at the Criterion website for more information about supplements and the like, and you can look at the trailer that Criterion made, and so take a look at that. And please, if you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you're interested, I will certainly do a deep dive exploration if I can once the set arrives, because as I say, I'm looking forward to it, especially considering that we've seen many of the films released by Criterion in the past. So it'll be nice to do a little bit of a comparison. There are certain points of note that we should keep in mind, of course, that I tried to bring up. There might be others, of course, but let us explore these in full when the set arrives. So but in the meantime, please enjoy this announcement time. Once again, November 24th, the scheduled date of release for the Criterion set called Essential Fellini. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now, and so please continue to be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Thank you so much again for your time, and cheers.